jazz is very much a collaborative music, isn't it? It's not like classical music, which is generally written by one person and then executed by other people. You know, with jazz, it's much more, you know, you can't, we can do solo performances, but in a group setting, in the jazz realm, everyone's a contributor. It has to be. If you have a bassist, that bassist has to be a composer, an improviser, a player, virtuoso, all those things at once. He's feeding you information that you never even thought of when you wrote the piece or when you formed the band. So by nature, it's a collaborative music. Now, one of the things I really love about this music is that players like myself, we have the opportunity to work with our heroes, people that we grew up listening to. And that's a really, really great thing. And just now, I was just back here with Roscoe Mitchell, hanging out, having a lot of laughs, and everybody was taking our pictures with this thing. And there's somebody that I listened to as a kid, you know, in school, when I was in school. And boy, I dreamed of being able to be out here playing with people like that. And now he's become a colleague and a friend. He comes to my house. You know, we hang out. I have a studio there. We've done a number of recordings now using this and other great, because he loves all this kind of things. So there's just an example from just 5 minutes ago of, since you're asking about the collaboration angle, I mean, yeah, there's somebody that I feel really privileged to collaborate with, and we've become friends. And there's a lot of people like that I'm very fortunate to be able to make music with, people I grew up listening to. Well, there's some that have escaped me, you know. I always dreamed of playing with Elvin Jones with the bass sax. I just thought that the bass sax plus Elvin Jones would equal something stupendous, and it just never happened. I never had any chance to work with him. And another one that got away from me was Trudy Pitts, the great Philadelphia organist. You know, I was a big fan of hers, and I spoke to Jonathan Blake, who's related to her, and we were cooking up this project. We were going to do a bass sax and Hammond organ project. She was all excited about it, and I just moved too slowly sometimes. Nobody knew that she was ill. Jonathan didn't know. And we just turned around and she was gone. And it broke my heart, because she's underrepresented on record, and she's just a fantastic organist. And I'll always hear that sound of what we could have done with the bass sax and Trudy Pitts on the Hammond organ. So I'm trying to I'm trying to get better about moving forward and acting on these ideas, because, you know, I have a notebook that's just, you can sit there and turn pages like this. All of these projects, all these ideas, titles of pieces, ideas for different arrangements of things, album concept things, and on and on and on. Libretto for this kind of crazy space opera thing. I've got all this stuff written out, page after page after page. These are my dreams, you know. And I'm trying to chip away at it, because time marches on, you know, and if I don't get moving. So about 5 years ago, I started my company, Science Sonic Laboratories, specifically as a way of bringing some of these ideas, some of these projects into reality. I built my own studio, which I call my laboratory, and that's where I have people over, and we do all kinds of projects. That's where Roscoe's been, and Warren Smith, and all these guys. I just had Milford Graves over there. That was very exciting. Marshall Allen from Sun Ra's band has been there a bunch of times now, and we've done a lot of things. So I'm in a real creative phase right now. I'm trying to get this stuff out there. Well, you know, music has a way of just kind of coming out of nowhere and just grabbing you and going, wake up, you know, as opposed to, you can't just whistle like Whistle for Your Dog and the music comes. You know, I think of music, this is a little bit silly, but I think of music as a kind of goddess that's mysterious and almost unapproachably beautiful and kind of elusive and capricious and merciful, forgiving to an extent, taskmaster at the same time, doesn't suffer fools gladly, and so I feel like I'm kind of chasing her around all the time, going, please, please, come on, come on, come on, I've got this great idea. But if she doesn't want to hear it, then it's like you're sitting there with the manuscript paper and it just doesn't want to come. So then I'll be in the shower or I'll be out looking in my garden or something, and all of a sudden it's like she walks up behind me and just kind of gives me a shove, and I turn around and then all this music is coming out, and I got to go try to find the music paper and write it down, or I have to percolate it in my mind until I'm ready to write it down and hope I don't forget, and stuff like that. So it's not a process that can always be planned out ahead of time. The muse strikes, you know, I'm not the first to look at it that way. Scott Robinson.